Well, that was an eventful week. That much I do know. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this week's weekly vlog where I'll be sharing a whole lot of outfit ideas and inspiration. I shall be sharing all my new awesome pieces with a mini Sezane haul, what I wore this week and some of my favourite cardigans and jumpers. Plus you can blow away those autumnal cobwebs for a little while and come to the beach with me. I climbed a very big hill. I also had one very welcome visitor and I nearly cried after a day at the sea. But thankfully my week got saved by my lovely friend and one very special lunch. All coming up today, so let's dive straight in. Well, the week started like this. A very good place to start, I thought. I've fast got to the stage where I'm treating the beach like it's a local park. Honestly, once Walter finishes school, we hop in the car and we're here in this absolutely stunning setting. Though David failed to let me know I was actually still wearing my reading glasses instead of my sunglasses. He could have told me. But anyhow, a stunning beach, and later on that evening, I got changed and headed out for a lovely dinner. So just arrived in Santa Gertrudis, just popped out with the boys to get a bite to eat. So naturally, thought I would just quickly show you what I'm wearing. This is quite an old set actually, a couple of years ago in this beautiful shade of ochre. I absolutely love it. And I think I've kind of had a bit of an obsession with this tone ever since. Now actually, usually this top comes quite low and it's so low actually that you see your bra strap. So this evening I tied it in a wrap and just brought the ties around to the front, which I think kind of works, and it also means you can't see my bra, which we like. Now that is a good work ethic. What a great videographer. He lost his flip-flop and he carried on regardless.
I'm a flip-flop back, please.
Yes. So yeah, skirt and top, I've added my tan bucket bag, a little sprinkle of brown, and my bracelet. My finger, I've just noticed, is still looking terrible. I chucked that in Walter's wardrobe. Really hurt. Sorry, I got waylaid. And my shoes again are just a lovely little sprinkle of gold. Right, I'm starving. We better get going. Albert's tummy is rumbling, I'm sure. So we shall see you in a bit. Sorry, it's a bit clippity-clop in these sandals, but I wanted to show you I do listen to all your advice. I've got my sunnies on. I've got my hat on, which is a little bit windy today, so we shall see how long it lasts. And hopefully this just covers me enough to stop me getting any more pigmentation at least. This is the hope. So a big thank you for all your advice, by the way. I do read all the comments and I'm going to try and work my way through all of the recommendations and eventually I'm going to crack it. So anyway, outfit of the day, I am wearing a lovely khaki jumpsuit that I got not that long ago actually, maybe 2 months I think. Depending on where you live in the world, this one is a little bit more heavyweight, so it could possibly work as a transitional piece where you are. But I know with some of my friends in London, it definitely won't do right now. It's got really cold. So keep watching because I've got lots of autumn outfits coming up for those in colder climate. I'm wearing big statement earrings. These ones came from Monica Vinader. My sunglasses are Sezane. My hat is from Reese. It's got a little bit bent, sorry about that. My handbag is from Songmont, and I think that is it. So I'm going to take you out shopping with me now because I really want to show you this store I found the other day. It's called Elemental Handcrafted Goods Ibiza. I popped in here the other day and found some really beautiful pieces, not only like clothes and interiors, but their jewellery as well. So come have a look. I do also really like the interiors as well. It's beautiful. Look, some of these earrings, they're quite big and chunky. I particularly like all the bangles. And look at that. That's really nice. Very much my style. Love that. There were some of these earrings. I mean, I know it's an acquired taste going for these big earrings, but personally, I really like them. And the necklaces too. And they're not a fortune either. Everything's quite reasonably priced. So I like those as well. Just simple, nice leaf shape. Let me know what you think, actually. Are you a big earring fan or do you prefer something smaller and a bit more delicate? Be interested to hear. I bought some of these for outside the dining room table, not from here actually. I bought them in England from Dunelm. Unfortunately, they ran out, which is a shame because they were like £12 each. But I found those and I was thinking they are almost identical, albeit a little bit comfier. So I might have to go for those to finish off the 6 around the table. I like those ones too actually, and the linen's nice. Albert's nodding behind. You like those, did you, Albert? And then the clothes. I mean, there are literally rails and rails in here, so there's loads to choose from. But I do have a bit of a fondness for the prints that are a little bit bright. And then obviously in lovely cottons as well. Got lots of beautiful linens. And then I spotted, where is it? This. which I know is a bit more colourful than I would usually go for. Albert's pulling a face at me. No, you don't like that one? Okay. But then I really like this jacket. Once it gets a little bit cooler for autumn, I thought that is really rather beautiful. Buenas noches. Esta mi atuendo para la cena. Hopefully I did that right. I tried. So this is my outfit for the evening. David and I are just popping out for a quick drink actually. So I thought I'd just show you what I'm wearing, which as you can see is a very chilled outfit idea. I've actually been working really hard on the patio today. So I'm tired. I've been in the sunshine all day. I've got a terrible headache, but I'm thinking just go out, have a little chill and that should clear. So anyway, yes, this beautiful white blouse that's got this gorgeous embroidery detail all over it. I really love this one and it feels quite nice and cool against your skin. I've paired it with a pair of khaki trousers that I can't remember where I got these from, so I shall have to add a link to them in the description box below. They might be COS or Sezane and I can't remember. Anyway, my tan leather belt, the one that ties in the knot, and then on my feet I was opting for comfort instead of always wearing flip-flops or sandals, which can get your feet a bit sore. So I've got a tiny little bit of blue in there in the embroidery, so I've tied that in with my loafers on my feet, my big hoop earrings and just my suede bag to finish. Hopefully you like my outfit too. Buenas noches and hasta luego. Adios. They're a favourite place for Albert and I to come for coffee, and we have his chocolate croissant, his Chez BB in Santa Gertrudis. I did just have a very good latte. Much needed first thing in the morning. For my outfit of the day, I'm wearing a little collection of browns. I've got my brown silk top on. I love this one in that deep kind of chocolate colour. And then I've paired it with my favourite pair of shorts. Got these in a couple of different colours. But today, for that little collection of browns, I've gone for them in the camels. I really like that contrasting against the chocolate. So whether you're particularly dressing for autumn at the minute and it's colder where you are, just thinking of those two tones together is a really nice combination. I have added a little bit of raffia into the mix, which goes with the whole theme. But if I was in England and freezing cold, I would probably have gone with something suede. That's a nice colour to add into the mix. So anyway, we have a few chores to do today, so we should probably get going, and I shall see you all in a bit. Side note, actually, that looks a really lovely house. I'd quite like that. Albert said it reminds him of something that Pablo Escobar might have had. I was kind of thinking more Romeo and Juliet, romantic. Thankfully, Jeff has come to the rescue.
Hey!
This
Hello.
is Jeff, everyone.
Hi. Hey Jess, how you doing?
Very pleased to see you.
Good.
Because my roots are out of hand.
Okay, so we'll get these roots done and we'll get the camouflage in. You would definitely have to do a light toner through it, Jess, just because of the sunshine will take out the ash tones really quickly and leave your hair very yellow. That's why when everyone comes back on holiday, their hair goes yellow. They'll complain about that because the sun pulls that ash out. So we'll bring that ash tone back in, but subtly, not like crazy light white ash, just really subtle. Okay. And then we'll freshen up the highlights and freshen up through some of the colour through the ends as well.
Quite like it light around the front at least. I do have this strange thing where it's not that I don't care what happens at the back, it's because I kind of go, well, I can't see it.
Yeah, but I can.
I know. So that lovely lady that commented on my YouTube short that I can't get over her yellow hair.
Yeah.
She's going to eat her words.
Yeah, let's make her get an apology today. Okay, so the final result. So what you can see now, we have no roots and a beautiful light ash tone. So we've still contained a little bit of warmth in the hair because we don't want that flat whitey ash colour. So we still have a very natural blonde. And the highlights are just all super fine weaves, a good classic set of highlights. And yeah, it looks amazing. And just a light trim on everything, so you have exactly what you have.
I love it.
Wonderful.
It feels so much better.
Yeah, it looks
Thank
good,
you so much.
Pleasure.
What do you think? So I just got back from London yesterday, which was really fun actually, and I do think I lucked out with the weather. Apart from being pretty windy and one very quick storm, it was quite blue skies and 18 actually. So yeah, it was great to just have a couple of meetings and then just have a really good mooch around the high street and beyond at the new autumn winter collections. So I actually partly filmed my key fashion trends video while I was there because I kind of thought it's all very well seeing what's on the catwalk, but actually it's probably most helpful to see how that translates into actual outfits for your own real life. So I've just finished filming up here on the balcony, which seemed like a really good idea at the time. And then 3 hours later, I'm boiling. Let me just show you my little setup I've got going on. So this is a little makeshift recording studio I've got because my camera was getting absolutely boiling. So I kind of taped an umbrella to it. And you know what? It doesn't look particularly chic or classy, but it worked a treat. It was brilliant. So yes, hopefully you all enjoy that video. I thoroughly enjoyed filming it, and as I do, delving into the fashion trends each season. And on top of finding lots of beautiful interpretations of the fashion trends from autumn winter, I couldn't resist to add a few pieces into my own wardrobe there and then. Starting with this lovely outfit combo that I'm wearing. Yes, very happy with this new outfit idea. And then to a small but perfectly formed Sezane haul of a few pieces that they very kindly let me choose in store. So first of all, going for this oversized classic white shirt. I've got a couple in my wardrobe, but they were looking a little bit tired. So it was one of those staple pieces that I definitely needed to replace in my own wardrobe. And this one for me just has the perfect amount of oversizedness that I like. I also really like the length of where it's hitting on my upper thigh, because I'm liking wearing them out at the moment, styling them with slightly slimmer fitting pairs of jeans, or as the case may be, with leather trousers. So I like a little bit more length there at the back as well, as you can see. So as mentioned, on my bottom half, I'm wearing the suede trousers. I totally fell in love with this pair of trousers and feel very, very lucky to now have them in my wardrobe. In all truth, I was originally going to go with the suede midi skirt that's new in from their collection. But as luck would have it, they didn't have it in the store I went to on Marylebone High Street. So I switched last minute and thought, well, I'll just try the trousers. I've never tried them on before. Let me see how they look. Now, obviously, these do tick a trend box this season, being in the shade of brown. However, they are very much the kind of piece that's so beautifully made, and quite an investment piece as well, that I shall definitely have them in my wardrobe forever. I don't think they will ever date. Now, fit-wise, if I just put my handbag down, you do have a side zip here. So I was a little bit conscious that with leather or suede, it might stretch a little bit. Should I size down to account for that? However, when I tried on the size down, it just felt a little bit too snug. And I thought, do you know what? I daren't risk it, because if they don't stretch, I can't really breathe in this pair of trousers. The moral of the story, in my humble opinion, I would say go true to size. Lovely length, perfect fit. Don't need to worry about having them taken up. They are perfect. Let me show you outfit 2. Oh, when you find an outfit that makes your heart sing, it's definitely worth adding it into your wardrobe. This beautiful crochet cardigan did just that for me, so I knew straight away actually I had to have it. Now, as we talked about last week, adding a little hint of crochet texture into the mix within your outfits is definitely on trend. But personally, it's a fabric and texture that I love adding into the mix, both through spring, summer and in autumn, winter. It just feels very natural and earthy and a little bit bohemian, but then equally, particularly from Sezane, it's done in such a way that it looks like an heirloom piece. It's just beautifully made. So while I have done all of the buttons up today, you could obviously leave those open, show a little bit of camisole underneath. Maybe the one actually that I chose with the lace trim would be nice to have a little hint of lace there as well. And probably a bit of a default setting for me, as it gets a bit colder here, I would style this look with jeans. These are my new ones actually, which I really love. They are so comfy to wear. I love the fit of them. Lengthwise, I should say, when I'm styling them with these ankle boots with a bit of a heel, but not too much. Oh, and then I also chose these lovely earrings in Sezane as well. So you've got the nice big gold section there. So again, a little bit of the brown fashion trend creeping in there. And then to finish, I would just add this handbag, or maybe my tote one that I got from Plump, Paris. Just quite nice to have a lighter pop of camel within the mix. Yeah, so a very me kind of outfit that I'm really happy with. So do let me know if you like that one too. And then I chose this quite bright pop of orange, but with this absolutely beautiful bow blouse. I love this orange tone. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And I think it really works nicely for autumn, winter, sat against all the chocolate browns and greys that we've been seeing an awful lot of. I've gone for it in a small, and I would say it fits true to size. And in all honesty, when they bring this style of blouse out each season, I do tend to always try and pick one up because they're so wearable. adorable. I reach for them an awful lot, and I dress them up and dress them down, and you could wear them for work. And having one in a gorgeous pop of colour just feels something a little bit different while still feeling on trend as well. So on my bottom half, I decided to go for the wide leg man pants. These ones have got a pinstripe running through them that is very, very slightly orange. Not that you can really see that it's orange, you just have to study very closely. It's really different. I love it. They've got that classic shape where the pleats and the darts start about your hip bone, which I find super flattering. And then, of course, you've got that wide shape down at the hem. And while I can obviously wear these with higher ankle boots as we move through the season, I can also just about get away with the length on them to wear with a pair of flats or perhaps trainers. And thinking of trainers, I had to spoil myself to this pair. I totally lost my heart to these. In fact, when I walked in the store, it was one of the very first things I saw, and I kind of zoomed straight over and was like, oh my gosh, I love those trainers. And they're so right for this season, as well as being super comfy to wear too. So they've been made from a chocolate brown suede, but also the shape of them is particularly on trend at the moment too, as we're seeing lots of the kind of thin sole trainers about at the moment. These are definitely the best option I've seen about, so very, very happy to have those in my wardrobe. And then style wise, with this outfit combination, I've just tied in a little bit of chocolate with my belt. You could obviously use the tie and put it into a bow if you wanted. I've just kept that loose. Chocolate brown trainers, and then a chocolate handbag to finish. And then last but not least, hopefully a prime example of why you should never underestimate the power of a brilliant classic t-shirt, which I think this one is. So this is the one I spotted the other day, and for me at least, it's got the perfect amount of slouch to be able to style it in lots of different ways. I like that it's not jet black, it's like a slightly washed charcoal tone. I love that it's quite boxy, it's got a lot of width here. I like that it's not too long, it's just kind of sitting there if I wanted to leave it completely out. And I love the fact that it's got drop sleeves, and also the fact that they've left them, why I'm stood like this, is because they're pretty wide. So all in all, that for me makes the perfect t-shirt. It's a great fit. And in fact, actually, if they had it in store in the white, I would have bought that as well. So hopefully you like everything that I picked. Do let me know in the comments below. There's quite a mixture there actually of different styles. So yes, feeling very, very lucky to have all of those pieces now in my wardrobe. And I'm looking forward to sharing lots of different ways I shall be styling them over the coming months. Right, I shall stop chit-chatting there. I need to go do the school run, and I shall see you all tomorrow. This is the kind of spot I'm supposed to try and park in, just casually between two rocks. No way am I going to be able to do that. So what I end up doing is parking the furthest away from everybody else, so I can find a space that hasn't got two boulders either side of it, and that could get a bus in it. Then I can park. All the roads are mad. Now this is what I call an afternoon well spent. A lovely impromptu trip down to the beach. So I am wearing a bikini, by the way. I looked like I was completely naked there. I'm not. I've not gone that hippie just yet. So yes, definitely my favourite way to spend an afternoon, and I love that this is on our doorstep. Feeling very, very lucky. And then after that video, things took a turn for the worst. I'm just sat down now at home, having drunk a glass of wine that I really, really needed. Oh my God. The waves were fine. They were having an absolute ball. They were jumping over them. They could touch the floor. It was really shallow, really far out to sea. I was calling Walter to come in, and they're both on the boogie boards. I thought he was just ignoring me. And then I hear the lifeguard blow a whistle, and then a guy, just someone from the beach, is with him, and they're blowing the whistle, obviously shouting at Walter to come in and his friend. And then all of a sudden, Walter's friend lost his boogie board and looked like he was going under. I just panicked. I really panicked. So I ran into the sea, and the waves by this point had become so big out of nowhere that literally it's going over my head, and I'm scrambling to the top, and my feet were just getting pulled under with the current. So your feet go from under you, the next wave hits you, and you can't manage to get enough breath in. And Walter's still on his boogie board, the lifeguard's charging into the sea, this other random guy is running into the sea, and people were just like hands over their mouth looking, and oh my God, it was absolutely terrifying. but thank my lucky stars, eventually this whirlpool that I think the boys were stuck in that just kept dragging them under, the lifeguard and this random guy that I really want to hug right now, managed to get to them, grab them. I think they tied a rope around them, managed to get them to shore, and oh my gosh. And definitely a wake-up call to be more careful by the sea. I mean, I was kind of thinking, oh, look, they're having fun, and they were having fun, and then it's fine until it's not fine. It's easy to, in a lovely, warm, beautiful place, get lulled into a false sense of security of everything's beautiful, we're just on a, you know, a lovely little island, and the sea's dangerous. And I know that. That's scared the life out of me. So I'm gonna go. Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I'm still shaking, actually. I'm gonna go have a shower, calm myself down, and take these boys out for some dinner and squeeze Walter ever so tightly. And I'm very, very, very grateful that this has a happy ending. And I've learnt my lesson, for sure, that I need to be more careful by the sea. End of. Good morning, everybody. Oh, today is a new day. I'm still actually feeling pretty sick after yesterday's beach drama. I felt really ill all night, actually, just panicking, doing the what ifs in my head, and so angry with myself as well, actually, for not preempting the situation. I'm probably more of a paranoid parent. Albert, Fred and Walter all say I'm the strictest parent they know. So for me to kind of not see that coming, I'm just really annoyed with myself. But anyway, so I'm off to calm myself down with a little retail therapy in Ibiza town. I just thought I'd quickly show you what I'm wearing. So I've got my classic khaki shorts on that are pretty tailored. I've gone for a new in vest top that I got recently from COS, actually. A big wide belt instead of the usual belt that goes with this, just to add a little bit of a different tone in the mix. I've got my sandals on my feet, which are actually losing their mojo and they keep slipping off. And I have gone with my leather bucket bag and then my pretty brown sort of stone earrings that were really affordable, actually. So yes, after all your brilliant advice about hair care, I'm going to pop to Sephora and see if I can find some lovely new products to test out, really, and let you know how they go. And then I've got to get a cake and I've got to get some shoes from Zara for Walter. So I shall see you in a bit. Managed to buy some goodies. I'll show you those in a moment. But first I thought I shall take you all for a little walk at the very old and beautiful Dolp Villa. So this is actually the entrance from the other side. I was just having a coffee in one of the old squares. If you do ever get the chance to come for a walk up here, I can highly, highly recommend it. But it's not for the faint-hearted. I'm puffing a little bit already. And I would advise not to wear sandals because all of the cobblestones are actually so old that they're really slippy. So wear trainers, and I would advise trying to walk all the way to the top because it's absolutely beautiful. All the way up there are copious amounts of coffee shops to stop for a little break. You've got the museum, some incredible views, and down there is the fort entrance. It reminds me a lot of Italy, actually, with tavernas and beautiful apartments with balconies. I was saying to David, one day when the children have flown the nest, I would love to get one of these beautiful little apartments with a balcony overlooking all the greenery. Yeah, that would do me just fine. Though saying that, even the little apartments are probably about 700,000. When I lived in Rome for a little while, I lived in one of these little apartments, very similar to these actually. It was owned by an artist. He had all his paintings all over the flat and the doors opened out to this really, really pretty, very quaint courtyard. Maybe that's what gave me the bug for wanting to live abroad again. So up there is the very, very top. I'm not sure I fancy doing that today, but it is a spectacular view if you fancy it. And then as you reach the top, this is just one side of the beautiful, beautiful views that you get. This is the view to my left, and this is the view from my right. Beautiful. So I bought in the shops a pair of these. I do this one-handed or a tripod. This is gonna win badly. I bought a pair of these from Zara. Wouldn't normally be my first choice for Walter, but he picked them up in store and said, "Oh, I like those. I'd wear those with my jeans." So just as a little extra for his birthday. On Saturday, he's got like his birthday gathering. We're not allowed to call it a party anymore. So I'm entertaining him and 5 of his friends. So I got lots of E-numbers to keep them occupied. Probably a really bad idea. I am going to make a picnic. And then some sort of hair mask I was looking for. I was talking to the hairdresser the other day and he mentioned Moroccan oil. I saw that in Sephora. There was also Olaplex, and I was reading about one called Gizou. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I think, who was it? Rosie Huntington Whiteley did a campaign with them. That one's meant to be really good. But as a bit of an experiment, I thought I'd start with what was the most affordable in there, and that was Sephora's own brand one. So I've gone for the mask repair. I can't remember exactly how much that was, but it was under £20, so a really good price point. And yeah, we'll try it out. We can do a little bit of an experiment. I'll be the guinea pig for you. And then while I was there, actually, having a good look through their range, I then picked up this. Hold on. So this is Sephora's overnight hydrating mask, which I've never tried before, but I have heard really good reviews on this one, so I'm keen to have a go. And to be fair, my skin could always do with a bit more extra hydration, so it's never a bad idea. I just saw a lady walking past who looked a bit like my mum. Oh, it kind of throws you when that happens, doesn't it? It used to happen a lot when she first died. And I don't know if it was like a subconscious thing that you want to see her face again, so you do. I don't know, it's a weird thing. It really throws me. And also, she loved Ibiza. She used to come here a lot with her group of girlfriends, and they'd have a girly weekend away. Oh, I know that she would be here all the time if she was still alive. She'd be, oh, I'll just pop out for the weekend. She'd probably pop over here more than she'd pop around for mine for a cup of tea. Well, I'll have to live this life for her. And then you can weave your way back down this way, going past all the really pretty little whitewashed buildings and very slippy cobblestones. I really should watch what I'm doing. Wow, it's busy, isn't it? Even now you wouldn't expect it to be quite so busy. This is a nice restaurant if ever you come. La Olivia. I came there last time about 20 years ago. I need to correct that. Good morning all. I hope the sun is shining where you are today, but if not, don't worry, because hopefully I am coming to the rescue. I thought I'd do a little bit of a styling session with some of my favorite pieces of knitwear, and just really to show you some ideas for this transitional period where it feels like you've got 4 seasons in one day, how I personally like to style my jumpers and my cardigans into my outfit ideas, and hopefully you'll agree, make them still feel chic and elevated at the same time. So let's start with the outfit I'm wearing. This is one of my favorite, very snuggly and cozy looking cardigans that I have in my wardrobe. I think I've had it now for a couple of years. Obviously, it's in the grey. It's made from 100% cashmere. It's pretty oversized. So it's a very everyday, casual kind of cardigan. So this outfit idea is a typical look of how I like to dress up some of those more casual cardigans that I've got in my wardrobe and make them feel a little more polished. So starting by adding a really nice pair of tailored trousers. I've gone for these in the light blue, as I personally really love that contrast of the blue against the grey. Obviously, you don't need to have a pair of blue trousers in your wardrobe, but I would have a little think about some of those more unusual colour combinations that can actually look really, really beautiful together. So naturally, this pair of trousers do look quite elevated and classy and elegant. So instantly, when you pair that with something quite slouchy, it's going to lift the whole vibe up. Then to add just a little nod to the fashion fashion trends, I've added this particular camisole. I mean, it's obviously a very subtle nod towards the fashion trends, but just having just a tiny trim of lace is enough often within an outfit to make it feel intentional and almost like saying, yeah, I know what the trends are, I just want a hint of it within my outfit. Now, although it might have got a little bit colder where you are, it's not necessarily always the weather for wearing a winter coat. So that's when I do find these vest tops or gilets really, really handy to layer into an outfit idea paired with a jumper or a cardigan. And actually, I wore this shearling gilet the other night as we popped out for sunset, because I've noticed even just in the last couple of days, once the sun goes down, it's actually feeling a little bit chillier. So it's definitely getting into that transitional period for me too. But if I was back home, this is definitely one of my favorite combinations with my knitwear. So this time using a favorite roll neck in a crew and pretty much going with a tonal outfit with a favorite pair of trousers. However, this season, I'm really enjoying adding in a hint of brown or the chocolate espresso tones that, of course, are one of the big fashion trends. So I have gone with these ridiculously comfy trainers on my feet just to add in that tone. And then I would finish with this beautiful handbag. I love this one, and it definitely ticks the trend box at the moment. And then, of course, finishing with the shearling gilet not only is nice from a layering point of view, it also feels like we're sort of giving a nod to the nomadic bohemian style trend at the same time. Plus, it's really practical. You might need an extra layer over your chest and your back, and that's when these gilets can be really handy and actually, as a combination within your outfits, make a really nice look. Hopefully you agree. Another favorite piece of knitwear that's actually new in my wardrobe would be this beautiful cardigan that's in that slightly unusual tone, but one I absolutely love. So I don't know if you noticed, but the fashion trends this season are very much sort of honing in on those really earthy tones. And this for me really ticks that box perfectly, but with the added bonus of a slightly unusual twist. It's kind of khaki, but it's got a little special oomph to it at the same time. I love it. So obviously a bit of a go-to outfit with this particular cardigan would be to just style it with my jeans, and that is a bit of a default setting. But today I've styled it with a new pair of wool trousers that I've got in my wardrobe. Probably not your first pick actually to wear with a cardigan like this, but if you look closely at these trousers, you'll see that there's a really, really fine pinstripe running through them that's almost a perfect match to the cardigan, so it actually really works. A little styling tip that I do with a lot of my cardigans just to change up the lengths and dimensions is to tie them at a knot at my waistband. That then just lifts the focus point within my outfit. It draws your eye to my waistband, and I do find that particularly handy when you're wearing such wide leg trousers, as it can be a little bit overwhelming with so much fabric that you want to get that waist a little bit higher. Although this looks quite intricate with my rosebud tie, it's actually quite simple, so I'll just do a quick little demo to show you how to do it, as I do that a lot with my cardigans. On my feet, I've gone with my chocolate trainers again. I've added another sprinkle of chocolate with my bracelet, and I've gone for my gold hoops, as I do really like that contrast against the ochre. So again, a very everyday outfit, utilizing some of my favorite knitwear pieces in my wardrobe, but in a new way that still feels polished and chic and put together. So hopefully you like that one too. Another favorite cardigan new in my wardrobe would be this lovely Aztec number that definitely ticks the box for that kind of wanderer, nomadic kind of spirit fashion trend. And actually, I wanted to show you this look because not only is it a bit of a go-to for me in the evenings here, even in Ibiza when it gets a little bit cold, but also it's a good example of how, even if you're a fan of kind of neutral tones and quite minimalist looks, how you can then introduce a little bit of color. I tend to style it is by keeping the base of my outfit, one, pretty simple, but two, either in quite neutral tones or quite earthy. So if you look at my outfit here, I've got khaki trousers on and I've got a copper blouse. Both are quite earthy in tone, so that when I then add this cardigan over the top, it works as a combination together. It can carry off the print and those bright colors. And that's a really easy trick you can do too and recreate yourself. So I can highly recommend you have a play around adding those more statement pieces to some of your most simple outfits, as I find it really helps tone down the look overall and thus enable you to wear those pieces on a much more regular basis. And then to a classic, one of my oldest, most favorite, one of the OG pieces of knitwear that I have in my wardrobe, with this lovely little cotton striped number. I have this one, as you know, in a few different shades. I absolutely absolutely love it, and I'm surprised it's not worn out. I've worn it so much. But I wanted to show you just a classic way that I style this and how I would dress it up a little bit more, say if it's a bit cooler than even wearing it like this. So the obvious choice styling this jumper would of course be to wear it with blue jeans. However, for something a little bit different, consider styling it with either black jeans or, as the case may be, a black wash, so it's kind of veering on the side of grey. These ones are high-waisted, they are tucking me in really, really nicely, and a great length too, enabling me to wear them just with a kitten heel ankle boot. Now, as a final layer with this, I quite like the twist of adding this particular blazer. So see how adding this blazer has just finished the outfit off. It's fitting in tone-wise, and yet you're getting a little bit of contrast with those colors. It's adding a finishing layer of texture because you've got the contrast of the herringbone here with the wool against the denim, and then the cotton with my jumper. And then practicality-wise as well, it's that extra layer, but not quite a coat, that we often need in that transitional period. And then if I stand back, you can see as a whole outfit, it feels smart, it feels elevated, it feels put together, but it's not too try hard, it's not overthinking it. It still feels quite low key and kind of laid back, I suppose, whilst looking cohesive at the same time. So hopefully you enjoyed that little styling session. Actually putting on one of my blazers has made me long for them even more. Maybe I should do a video solely on blazers and how I'd style them. So do let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see, and I shall get that one filmed. Right, so as it happens today, it is a wee bit hot for me to be wearing a jumper and a blazer. So let me get changed for the weather I actually have outside, and let's go out and see a lovely lady about some mushrooms. I will explain all. So my lovely friend Tess from Love Food Ibiza kindly invited me to go to her and Mama Shroom's mushroom retreat at Pikes for the afternoon. So I was learning about not only how to cook mushrooms into healthy dishes, but also the natural supplements I already take that help me sleep. Tess put on one amazing spread, absolutely delicious, and I was actually thinking about getting her on my channel, teaching us all how to do a few fancy recipes. So do let me know if that's something you'd all like to watch, and we shall get that filmed. I'd be interested to hear if any of you have tried functional mushrooms before. I actually take them at bedtime because I'd read that it really helps you sleep, and they do actually work. And apparently, actually, the day ones are meant to help get rid of a bit of brain fog, so I should probably invest in those really too. Anyhow, thoughts on today's outfits? Do you have a favorite? Which knitwear outfit would you wear or recreate? And did you like everything that I chose from Sezane? Do let me know in the comments. That made me laugh actually, because the other day I put on my stories, what do you think to this beautiful blouse I found? Do we like? And this woman replied, no, that's it. Just no. I don't know if she means me or my outfit, but she really didn't like it. So hopefully you do actually like all the outfits I featured, but as always, it's lovely to hear from you below. Wish me luck this weekend as I take 5 boys to the beach for Walter's birthday. I am honestly going to find the calmest, no wave beach on the island. Actually a lake, that's what I need. I'm looking for a lake. I must tell you too before I go, but the other night we went out for dinner to celebrate Walter's birthday with David because he's going away. And we said to Walter, where would you like to go? We'll take you anywhere on the island. And he's like, KFC. Brilliant. Let's go to KFC. He said, but I want it takeaway with a view. So I'm like, okay, I think view I can do. David, you're going to have to suck it up and eat KFC for an evening. So we took him down to this place called Punta Galera. I'd never been there before, but I had heard about it. And it was quite possibly the best KFC I have ever eaten in my life because of that spectacular view. How stunning does that look? It was amazing. Feeling very, very lucky indeed, even if I did have to eat a bucket of chicken while I'm sat there. Big hugs as always to all you lovely ladies. I am always very, very grateful for your support. I definitely couldn't do this without you, and it's always an absolute pleasure sharing videos with you all. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and hopefully you'll join me back here next Sunday for a dedicated fashion and styling video, which I think you're going to enjoy. See you then.